Hey everybody, welcome to the first of 5 classes on deep grounding. So when I'm filming these practices, it's the beginning of winter, it's cold, it's dark, it's windy, it's dry. And when the external circumstances are like that, these are excellent practices to dive into to get a sense of steadiness, of deep rest, of grounding, fortification, oiling up the joints, and then steadiness in the mind. So when we slow down, sometimes we get this beautiful byproduct of really feeling centered in the self. What we're working with in this series is a force that is in the yoga tradition called apana, and it's a downward moving force that really tethers us to the earth. Apana is one of 5 of these forces. There's 2 that we talk about a lot, which you might have heard of. Prana, which is intake, which is motivation, which is inspiration, and apana, which is down and out. So when we think about the breath, the inhale is associated with prana, and the exhale with apana. Apana in the body governs elimination of waste products, and that includes menstrual blood. So these practices are going to be excellent to do around your cycle if you have a cycle. If you are regularly cycling, also great to do to just bring you down into some steadiness. And postmenopausally, also wonderful to continue to connect you to this downward and grounding force within the body. Orgasm is also part of the downward and outward movement. So is childbirth. So these practices are great to do pre and postnatally. This one that we're doing today will be a lot of core work. So skip ahead if you're pregnant to doing the last 4 classes, and be gentle on the core work and the twists. So you want to stay away from sit-up movements if you are carrying. So hopefully these practices, they support us to have more efficiency and ease in all of those downward and outward movements in the body. So anyone who's having anxiety or excessive rumination, those are kind of upward and outward moving forces. This is really going to help us come down. Prana comes out of grounding. So we're going to start with this series of 5 classes, get deep into grounding, and then our next series will work on the upward and outward force. So physically, apana is connected more to lower body work and forward bends, and prana, upper body work and back bends and arm balances. So we'll link those in. There'll be 5 classes coming up with prana classes, with all the prana energy, so you can look forward to that. For today's practice, grab a couple blocks, have a blanket, and then I'm using these weights. They're like ankle weights opened up. You can certainly grab that if you have 2 bags of rice. That will work really well. This is really just for Shavasana, so if you don't want to bother with them, don't worry about it, but you can pause the video and grab your stuff. Today's practice will work with core, deep core, and with breath to bring us into the lower part of our body and to move us into our legs. So you can come on down, and we'll begin by drawing the knees in and giving a little wobble on the low back. Nice, and you can stretch your legs out when you're ready. And we're gonna start with this breath in the pelvic floor. So inhaling, feel your pelvic floor expand in between your pubic bone, your tailbone, and your 2 sit bones. And exhale, feel it squeezing in and up, all the way up towards your belly button. Inhale, expand, soften, and relax your pelvic floor in between those 4 bony landmarks. And exhale, squeeze gently in and up. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's add the ribs. So we'll inhale into the pelvic floor, open up, relax. And then exhale, think about closing the ribs in and pressing the back ribs into the floor. 2 more breaths, inhale, opening. Ribs come wider, and then as you exhale and lift the pelvic floor, squeeze the ribs in towards each other. Inhale, expand and relax the pelvic floor. Spread the ribs, and exhale, fold them in and down. And then with both of those actions, inhale, feel your 2 frontal hip points relaxing away from each other, and then exhale, feel them closing in towards each other as you close the ribs and lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, soften and open the front. And then exhale, it's like you're closing the doors of the abdomen as you lift the pelvic floor and close the ribs in and down. Inhale, open up. Soften, melt. Exhale, consolidate. Nice, you can take the legs up into the air. Inhale, flex your feet, toes towards you. Exhale, point your toes and bring your low belly down to the floor and wide. Inhale, relax your belly, flex your feet. And exhale, bring your belly down and wide. Inhale, open the pelvic floor. And exhale, squeeze it in, ribs in, frontal hip points in, belly down. Relax that, take your hands behind the back of your head. Inhale, flex the feet. And then exhale, make a J. Lift your pelvis, lift your arms, and squeeze in all of those points, consolidate. Inhale, flex your feet, come down. Exhale, make a J. Inhale, open up. Exhale, J. Inhale, open up. Exhale, J. Inhale, come down. Draw your right knee in towards you, your left leg long, circle into your hip. One direction, and then the other. Now draw your right knee in towards you and let go, see if you can keep it there. Then draw it in with your hands again, soften your hip flexor, and then let go and engage your hip flexor. Then take your arms over your head like this. Inhale here. Exhale, float your left leg and curl up. You can also have your hands behind the back of your head if you need. Inhale, come down to the floor, get long. Relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze everything in. Ribs and frontal hip bones. Inhale, breathe into the pelvic floor. Exhale, hip flexor engages, drawing the knee closer into the chest. Come on down, take your hands behind the back of your leg. Stretch your leg out, point your toe, flex and bend. Point your toe and straighten, flex and bend. One more time like that. Point and straighten, flex and bend. Now let's point and straighten and come up. So you can hold your head or you can reach your arms forwards and pulse your hips up and down without moving your legs. Keep them where they are. Pulse up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw your knees in. Take your knees in towards you. Wobble. Take your hands on the insides of your knees and slide down your shins with your hands. And just let one knee come a little closer to the floor and then the other. Breathe into your pelvic floor here. Close your eyes. Melt a little. Soften into your hips. Let's switch sides. So left knee in, right leg long. Circle into your hip. One direction and then the other. Draw it in, hold it there. Let it go. Hip flexor engagement. Draw it in, soften your hip flexor, hold it there. And then let go. Hip flexor engagement. Arms over your head. You can hold your head if you need. Float your right leg and curl up. Pelvic floor, frontal hip bones, and ribs consolidate into the midline. Open up and curl in. Open up. Draw the knee into the chest, squeezing in through the pelvic floor, and then let it go, interlock behind the back of your leg. Point and straighten your leg as much as you can. Flex and bend. Point and straighten. Flex, bend. Point, straighten, flex, bend. Point and straighten, and then stay up. You can use your arms coming forwards or your hands behind the back of your head, and it's a lift of the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw your knees in, wobble a little on the low back. Take the insides of your knees and melt one knee down and then the other. And feeling that opening, especially on your inhale, that melting into the pelvic floor. See if you can maybe even find some stillness, find a radiant breath down there. Nice, and you can draw your legs in, give yourself a squeeze, and rock and roll a little bit till you come up to a tabletop. Take your time. Measure yourself up well, so wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Press your feet down into the floor so you feel a good connection. Inhale, arch your spine. And then exhale, squeeze your inner thighs together and round under. Inhale, arch. And exhale, squeeze and round under. Come to neutral. If you have a block handy, put it on its narrow level in between your inner legs, and this will give you a little more sensation of finding that squeeze. So inhale, press your feet down, arch your spine. And then exhale, squeeze the block and lift up and round under. Inhale, relax the pelvic floor. And exhale, squeeze and round under. Now, if you like, walk your hands a little forwards. Inhale and arch, and then lift your legs a little. And then exhale and squeeze the block and maybe come up a little off your knees. Inhale, arching. And exhale, squeezing the block and lifting a little off your knees. And then come down and shift back. Maybe the block hits the ground and you get a little block in the belly. That's kind of nice. You can take a couple breaths there. Let your head go. With the prop near your pelvic floor, do you get more access to connecting to it with your breath? Okay, squeeze the block, come on forwards, and you can come to a knee plank or tuck your toes and come into a plank. Shift back into a downward facing dog. 3 breaths, 1. 2. With that awareness of the little squeeze of your inner legs, maybe bending your knees, can you access your pelvic floor with your breathing? Like there's a trampoline in the floor of your pelvis, stretched out between your pubic bone, your tailbone, and your 2 sits bones. And when you breathe down there, you're bouncing on the trampoline. Now squeeze the block and round forwards to that plank. Your knees can be down. Bend your knees and arch back into a downward dog. Squeeze the block and round forwards. Bend your knees wide, collarbones, arch back. Squeeze and come forwards. Bend and arch. Come down to your knees. Take the block out. Hands back underneath your shoulders, circle around your wrists. One way and then the other. Bring your right knee more center, your left leg back, tuck your toe, pulse out through your heel. Lift your leg without bending your back. So let's try that again. Feel contained, and then lift your leg from your glute and hamstring, and then bend your leg. Take your leg out to the side. Try to keep your hips fairly level. Draw it in towards your armpit, and then reach it all the way back with a bent leg. Nice. Take it out to the side. Draw it in towards your armpit, and then take it behind your right knee and shift your hips back. And then bring it up, level out to the side towards your armpit, and then see if you can maybe come up onto your fingertips and circle it in front. Center out your knees. And if you want blocks underneath your hands, sometimes that also helps for wrist stuff. Then you can come up a little higher and try to do a little hula hoop in your hips. So you're circling to the side, down, up. It's like your tailbone is drawing a circle behind you. Switch directions of the circle. At first this might feel a little awkward, a little challenging because your hips are really pulling you in, and then you're carving out the edges of the hips. Switch directions, and then go a little forwards and back. And if you want, you can be on fingertips and really be in your legs here. Okay, let's try to make more of an equilateral triangle with the knees and the feet. So if they're really wide or really close together, take them feet like the base of the triangle, knees like the front, and then start to come on up onto a block a little higher up. See how that feels. If you like, you can start to take your pubic bone a bit forwards and balance like this. Maybe taking the pubic bone forwards and the tail back. So this could be pretty tight feeling in your outer hips. Take a breath. You could lift your arms and try to lift your chest a little off of your hips. And then exhale, come down, lower back down to your hands. Circle your left knee around and bring your knees back underneath your hips. Start to circle around your wrists, but also circle your hips forwards and back. So again, if you need blocks for this part or you want to be up on fingertips, go for that. We'll take the right foot back, pulse through the heel. So strong in the abdomen, lift the leg up, bend it, inner heel lifts, out to the side, hips as level as you can, into the armpit, and then back. Kick the inner heel up, contain from the belly, to the side, in towards the armpit. And then this time take it to the outside of the left knee and shift back a bit. Take it back and up, hips is center, out to the side. This might be where you come up on fingertips or maybe on blocks to bring it all the way in front. Center your knees, feet a little wider, and then start to make that hula hoop movement into your hips. And think about that circularization also coming into your low spine, into your organs, giving everything a massage. With your breath, can you come back into the pelvic floor breath? Here it's going to be a little harder to soften the pelvic floor because you're using the inner thighs, which gently tones it. Then you can go a little forwards and back. Now you can stay with that forwards and back, or you can come up a little bit. So you might grab one of those blocks, start to come up a bit, playing with that. Maybe you bring the pubic bone a bit more forwards, the tailbone in. Might feel a little easier on this side because you already did it on the other side. Maybe you bring your arms up and you lift those back ribs up. And then you can come on down, and you might have your blocks or your fingertips to circle out of that, and then you can circle your hips and your wrists one way and then the other. Nice, let's press into the finger pads, tuck toes, reach back into downward facing dog, pedal it out. Imagine there's that block there in between your inner thighs, and then you just gather it and squeeze it and lift it towards the pelvic floor and round forwards. And then bend the knees and arch back and release the pelvic floor. Widen the sitting bones, arch the spine. Squeeze in, gather everything, consolidate. Bend your knees, reach back. And then walk your feet towards your hands. Walk them hip distance apart. You can dangle in a forward fold. You can take your hands underneath your feet, and that might be a welcome wrist release, Padahastasana. 3 breaths wherever you end up. 1, shifting the weight a little more to the balls of the feet, underneath the toes. 2, and 3, letting your hands go. And then here, shifting into your heels. It's finding that inner thigh squeeze, the hollowing of the belly, the lift of the pelvic floor to round you all the way up. Opening your shoulders and coming into Tadasana. So standing, feet underneath your hips. You can put one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Soften your knees a little bit and really feel like poof, you're super grounded and super steady. With your knees a little bit bent, you can close your eyes. Imagine someone's coming over to you and they're going to try to push you over, but you're rooted. So you're not going to move that far. Nice. You can open your eyes, let your arms come down. Center your right foot. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Take a breath. Take it out to the side. Take a breath. Take it behind you. Shift a little forwards. Bend your knee. It's like you're going towards warrior 3. And then bring it all the way back up into your chest. Take it out to the side. If you have a wall nearby and you need that for balance, grab it. Take it behind you, hamstring and glute work, shifting forwards. You might go a little more towards a warrior 3. This time, bend your knee, tap it behind your other knee, sink into a squat. Come on up. Warrior 3 variation, out to the side, and then take the knee in front of you, squat. And then come on up, knee into the chest, and release. Other side, ground through your left foot, right leg in. Take a breath. Out to the side, take a breath. Take it towards a mini warrior 3. Bend your standing leg, glute and hamstring of the back leg, inner heel. Bring it all the way in. Out to the side. Behind you. Kick up so you can feel your backside. Take it behind you, squat. Come on back up through the warrior 3. Out to the side. Come on up. Take it in front. Squat. Come on up and stand. Let your hips shift a little side to side. Bend your knees, maybe even bounce a little bit so you can feel your lower body releasing or your upper body releasing. Ground into your right foot again. Take it underneath you. Left knee up, out to the side. Take it into a warrior 3. You might even find a warrior 3 this time. Take a breath in and out. Bring it all the way back, in towards your chest. Out to the side again. Warrior 3. Grounded, leg is a little bit bent. Your arms can come behind you. Take that behind you. Find a toe squat. And you can take your left arm across, make a fist, press down onto it with your right hand, and open your spine up. Like a little back bend in your upper chest. Stamp your right foot down, come on up. Take that leg out to the side, big circular movement, and into Garudasana. So if you want, you could hover that leg and then take your left arm under your right, give yourself a hug, or find your hands, or find a bird on a branch holding your wrist, maybe a double wrap with your feet, and take a breath. Be a little more upright. And then come on up and release. Do a little side to side shift through your hips. Switching sides, so left foot underneath you, right leg up. Out to the side. Maybe a warrior 3 and your arms can open back. Out to the side, back up to standing, knee into the chest. So grounded, out back behind you, warrior 3. And then keep it moving into the toe squat. Your right arm can come across, make a fist, left hand pushes into it. Open it up. Come back into the middle. Stand on your left leg. Take it out to the side. Circle it in front. Eagle pose. So sinking or floating, right arm goes under. Hug. Palms, grab the wrist, maybe a second wrap. Sit tall. Take a breath. Come on out, both feet ground. You can shift the hips side to side or do a little bounce. Arms come all the way up. Forward fold. And you can dangle for 3 breaths, or again, you can take that Padahastasana and shift the weight to the toes. Hands find the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Round it towards that high plank. Bend your knees and arch back. Round it forwards. Bend your knees and arch back. Round it forwards. Take your knees down. Shift your legs to one side. And come on through to a seat. So this is where you can sit well in your meditation. If you're feeling extra tired, lie down. So sit up, sit well, and align yourself so it's like you're still standing. You need your hips to be elevated enough that you're not compressing the front of your body, that you can be upright, long spine. And then tuck your chin a little bit and lengthen the back of your neck, like there's a string being pulled from the back of your head. And you can place your left hand in your right and the thumbs touch, right at the lower belly. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes here. And come back to that pelvic floor breath. So when you inhale, there might be a visualization of a ball of light in the lower pelvis. And when you breathe in, it expands and softens and glows and opens. And when you exhale, it becomes smaller and more consolidated and lifts up towards behind your belly button. Inhale, open it up. Let the ball get bigger and more earthy. And exhale, consolidate it, lift it up towards your belly button. And maybe you notice here with the breathing, what is more challenging for you? Is it the release or the contraction? And then let that go and simply feel your breath low down without control, without mediation. You can open your eyes a little bit and let them be very soft and hooded, like you're really using your peripheral vision. Things might be a bit blurry. And let your eyes settle on one point. So when your eyes dart around, your mind generally moves. So can you feel fully still with the gaze? Not locked tight into stillness, but relaxing into stillness. Unhinge your jaw. Scan your body for unnecessary tension. And see if you can become 1% less guarded. Let your body be on the mat and let your mind be in your body. And then take a bigger breath in. Exhale fully. And you might stay here if you're quite steady and grounded in this seated posture, or I'm going to invite you to come on down to take a couple minutes of Shavasana. And if you have something weighty, you can place that on your upper thigh. You can grab the edges of your mat, pull yourself long, and feel free to add a layer. Maybe a heel rock if you're lying down. Rocking your heels on the ground, seeing if you can feel that through your lower belly, lower spine. And then you can take your hands to your jaw and give yourself a little massage, maybe even into the earlobes, the place, that pressure point where your jaw meets your ear, the masseter muscle. When you clench your jaw on the outer lower jaw, can you massage that area and also underneath it, sliding your thumbs underneath the jawbone and towards the ear. And anything goes here that feels good and releasing. When we get up into our heads, we tend to clench. So remind yourself to drain that clenching. You might even pull it down through your throat. Just downward moving force, apana, through your throat, down through your chest and sweep it down towards your legs and then let your arms go and close your eyes. And really feel this from the head. It's like there's a warm shower of relaxation going all the way down to your feet, through the pelvic floor, inner thighs, encouraging ease in elimination, in downward movement, in connection to the earth, encouraging steadiness and stillness. And let yourself feel heavy. And from that heaviness comes lightness. So sensing into any lightness and joy that comes from the experience of deep grounding. Okay, my friends, so you could take a breath in and exhale, long exhale, and you might give yourself a big stretch. Roll to the side. Come on up when you're ready. And let's close our practice with a mindful moment together. So you might sit up, long spine, maybe close your eyes. And notice any changes, any space. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait for the next 4 classes together.